Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Wanderer's Haven. Tonight, you have joined us for yet another installment of Star Trek Forefront, our cool playthrough of Star Trek Adventures. I'm Kevin. I'll be hosting tonight. Jeremy's usually sitting here doing this, but he is doing some other cool, fun stuff. But things will be the same, things will be great, and we'll still have our same great cast and great game master running the game for us. So before we get into the game proper, just want to say that this is Star Trek Adventures made by Modiphius, and we are playing with the illustrious writer for the game, Al. Hello, Al. Thanks for being back so much for running us through this. Tonight we're going to be exploring some ship combat, so if you've ever wanted to see how that goes, well, you're in the right place. So thanks for joining us. Let's go ahead, go around the table real quick and introduce everybody, and then we will hand things off to Al so that he can run us through this cool adventure. I'm Kevin, as I said, I'll be the host, and I'll be playing Commander Idan Roll, a Bajoran who has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder and is hoping to prove himself in the ways of Starfleet. Let's go ahead, let's have Adela go next.
I'm going to be playing Jissa Rogu, who is a commander, medical doctor for the ship. I'm also a Betazoid, or we'll see. We'll see what I sense. We'll see what I don't sense. That's exciting. That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for being here, as always. And of course, her partner in crime, Matt. Hello, welcome back, buddy. How you doing?
Hi, great. Glad to be back, as always. I am Matthew Workman. I am going to be playing Lieutenant Commander Gabriel Martin, Chief Engineer of the USS Ginsburg. He's a human, a bit older, thinks of himself as sort of like the engineering department's dad, but he's always stoked to help out his fellow crewmates and just loves getting his rolling up the sleeves and getting his elbows deep in the systems of the Makira class ship.
Excellent. Well, it's always good to have you here, so thanks for coming back, Matt. All right, moving right along to our next player. I'm not sure everybody's right on my screen, so I might be jumping all over, so sorry about that. But Sid, hello, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's everyone doing? Sid, and today I'll be playing Lieutenant Pramjavak, Tellurite science officer of the ship. Let's see what we get into tonight.
Indeed. Cool, thanks for being here, man. It's always good to see you.
Nice
And
to be
finally,
here.
other last member of the cast, not the least, of course, Andrew. Hi, welcome back, buddy.
Hi, thanks for
Very
having
sharp
me.
tonight.
Yeah, I'm Andrew. I will be playing Lieutenant Vasily of 6, who is a human, but notably a liberated Borg, and very excited to be playing tonight because we're going to get into some ship stuffs. And Vasily, before he was assimilated, was a hotshot pilot, but since being assimilated and over his many years, in the collective, kind of lost his groove a little bit as a pilot, so he's a lot more cautious now than he used to be, and he's been trying to get his groove back, so maybe tonight is the night.
I bet it will be. I have a sneaking suspicion it will be. So awesome. Thanks for joining us yet again. Love the uniform. Really supporting. I love it. Cool. So let's head on over to the man of the hour who will be guiding us through our journey tonight. Al Spader, thank you so very much for coming back. Please take us away.
How's it going? Al Spader. I'll be your guide through tonight's episode, which is going to be a little bit different than episodes we've done in the past on this stream. Across a lot of platforms, we hear a lot of people always have questions about space combat, and I think we all on this panel, on this team, really wanted to try it, but we wanted to get the rules down first. So there's not going to be a ton of narrative going through today's stream, but we are going to go step by step through starship combat. I know that there are lots of people here from different social media platforms that are excited to see this because they're just learning the game and they want to know how this works. Because as we all discovered today as we were going through the core rulebook, it can be a little bit daunting when you see like 40 pages of rules for something. So I assure you, it's not as difficult as it looks, and it's actually way more fun than you can imagine. This is not designed to be a tactical battle simulator like you saw in the old FASTA Star Trek game. This is, it simulates starship combat, and one thing that I know for sure is that starships in Star Trek are durable, they're rugged. Most of the time when you see starship combat, ships aren't destroyed, right? They're heavily damaged. And then, either we wave the white flag or we get the heck out of Dodge. And I think the system mimics that very, very well. We're going to pause. We're going to ask questions. We are going to clarify. Hopefully that will help everybody that's watching tonight and in the future understand what the way this system works. So the story so far, we've been doing a little mini Tilikal saga, and in our last episode, we kept these kind of evil Tilikal, crazy Tilikal, from escaping into our world. And we beamed back to the bridge, and there was a cloaked Romulan warbird in front of us. Luckily, we left a team on the ship that were prepping for, some type of combat. So we have torpedoes primed already. We have shields raised. We've got evasive maneuvers in action. So, the team was ready for this. So essentially, the away team that was on the planet side beamed up onto the ship, and the ship's captain was possessed by a Tilikal, and we were pretty sure we got him no longer possessed. But we're going to start off on the bridge with what's going to happen to the captain as soon as he arrives. So we're going to take it from there. So you all have beamed onto the bridge of the ship. A Romulan warbird has decloaked with its weapons armed at about, we'll say medium range away. And captain is there, and he's still all confused and glossed over eyes, not really aware of his surroundings right now. So, Commander, what would you like to do?
So as the Romulan warbird, it comes out of cloaking. We see it there, correct? We're picking right up where we left off.
It's up on the view screen, yep.
Absolutely. So I will say red alert, and I will call attention to everybody for that, and I will look at Tarjum, and I'll say, sir, I'm going to need you to go ahead and take the captain down to sickbay. Make sure he's himself again, if you get my drift.
And Tarjum says, sir, and he kind of shoulders his phaser rifle and grabs the captain by the elbow and escorts him over to the turbo lift.
Then I'll turn back to everybody on the bridge, and I will say, all right, everybody, let's make sure we're ready for this. Battle stations. And then I will start to move towards tactical. And as I start to move towards tactical, I will look at the doctor, and I'll say, Dr. Rogu, I believe the bridge is calling for your expertise in this moment. With Tarjum gone, they're going to need me in tactical. So if you could, please, and I'll point out towards the view screen so that she is looking upon the Romulan warbirds. I did the same thing, streaking towards us, and I will just give her one curt nod, and I'll move over to tactical.
So the center seat is yours. Are you going to take it?
I'll take it. Just the nods back and heads over and just kind of rolls her eyes and these guys again. I'm so tired of these guys. Ugh. And then collects herself and stands there, very picturesque, looking off at the distance. Stone cold.
I'm going to pull up a picture of our bridge, and so you know, a bridge has stations, and yeah, Raul's going to go over to tactical. we'll say is up here for right now. Just is going to take the center seat. And so stations have meaning inside the game of Star Trek Adventures. Each station has specific things that they can do and interact with the ship. If you need to use a station to do something else that maybe it normally wouldn't do, for example, if you are where Prom Javak is, which is the science station, we'll say, if for whatever reason, last ditch effort, we needed to fire our phaser array from that station. We would need to override that station and turn it into a tactical station, which is just a minor task, but it does make things more difficult in the future. So typically, stations are used for the thing they're assigned to, and that's about it. One thing you should know about the USS Ginsburg, if you haven't been following along with our little web series here, we are armed with graviton weapons that were reverse engineered from some Borg weaponry. So this is going to be a little bit different than if you're if you're familiar with phasers on your ship, in that they just have a little bit of a different profile than typical phasers. The graviton weapons can be found in the Utopia Planitia book, and so we were set in the future, so we wanted to try it out and see, just make our ship a little bit different. We're like one of the first ones outfitted with these systems. In fact, Gabriel Martin is an expert in these systems. So let's go around real quick and say, what station are we manning at this time? So Gabriel Martin, what are you primarily looking after?
My primary function right now is the internal systems. So from my console, I'll be doing power management, regenerating of shields, damage control, and the transporters.
Awesome.
Also, as the chief engineer, I'll kind of be having one foot ready to get to the main engineering console as well.
One of the cool things about the engineering tasks is that many of them are much easier to do from engineering. So they actually have their difficulty reduced by 1 if you are in main engineering, which is interesting. So you may have to dart back there at some point.
Right.
You are doing which station?
Be doing sensors.
Sensors and science.
On the sensor side. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll be launching probes and scanning the enemy.
But Seeley?
I am at my usual spot at the helm, and as Commander Jessa takes her spot, I will sort of do the dramatic chair turn and say, "Welcome back, Commander. We have taken the liberty of taking evasive maneuvers, and also torpedoes are ready for reasons."
And Commander Eden Rao has moved up to tactical to man like torpedoes and
Yeah, our main offensive capabilities of the ship to really kind of keep us in this. I know that the Romulans specifically, they have weaponry that they're going to try to use against us. They're telemetric projection type torpedoes and stuff that they have. They're photons and stuff that we've battled before. So I want to make sure that we, a good offense is the best defense, I believe. So I'm going to capitalize on that a little bit.
You guys, I kept your momentum from the last session. So you had 4 momentum coming in from the last session, and I dropped myself down to 10, which is 2 threat for each person that's actually playing. So because the Romulan ship decloaked in front of you, you were ready for something, but you were kind of caught by surprise with this Romulan ship. So they're actually going to get the first shot off at you. And they were charging up their plasma torpedoes. So let's see. I'm going to buy a couple of dice here to try to shoot you with a plasma torpedo. So I'm going to buy 2 dice here. So because I'm at medium range, I am firing torpedoes. Torpedoes actually prefer to be fired from long range. So because I'm like one step closer to you than what the weapons prefer, that actually increases the difficulty by 1. So this is actually a difficulty 4 shot at you. Plus, you are in evasive maneuvers, which makes it an additional +1 to hit. So I need 5 successes to hit you guys with this torpedo.
Evasive maneuver, Ruth, 531.
What happens? Oh, I see. So my target number is 10 here. My crit range is a 3. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4. So because you are ready with those evasive maneuvers, you have dodged out of the way of this plasma torpedo attack. So that is my first action for this turn. Now it goes over to your ship. What would you guys like to do? This is where you decide what happens next.
Well, we should see if we can sense any of those. Is it tachyons or tetrons? Tachyons?
Oh, Tetrion.
Tetryon.
That all went away when you guys closed the portal in the last session.
Okay.
Even the one that was like the tendril coming down.
Good. That really changed us a lot because those things
That-
were going to be
that
pretty
does.
nasty. Yeah.
I thought we were going to have to Ghostbuster this one too.
Right. Mhm. Well, I think shields being up is probably the most beneficial thing to do in case they do hit us. But
You called for shields up. When you say red alert, that automatically raises
oh,
shields.
it's okay. Then all right. We're good. We're good.
Let's fire back.
Want to fire back? Do you want to take some other action? Do you want to scan for weakness? What would you like
Yes.
to do? You can
Let's
you can
scan for
technically generate power too.
Oh boy. Well,
Well, I would
I
like
mean,
to just go ahead and fire while they scan because I feel like a good offense is the way to go. Commander Raw's not going to mess around. So if I may, it's a
do.
group effort here.
Um,
If I may, I'd like to fire here.
So are you going to fire a gravimetric torpedo, or are you going to fire your graviton array?
I will fire our torpedoes for now. I don't want to hit them with everything we have. Maybe they don't know we have those. So I want to build into it, keep our big guns in the back ready to go in case they think that they're going to be getting the upper hand here. So I'll attack with the normal weapons.
Okay. So you'll use you don't have normal weapons. You've got graviton arrays, or you've got gravimetric torpedoes. Those are the only weapons you have on the ship.
The graviton arrays are sort of like a phaser replacement, right?
It's phaser, but it fires gravitons instead of.
Now, are those also short range?
So your arrays, I believe, are medium range.
Medium range, okay. And the graviton torpedoes are long range.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, then that is my mistake. I got the two names mixed up. So yeah, I'll fire the array then. I'm going to fire the lesser of our weapons. That way they don't know we have the big, punch through the hull weapons loaded as well.
and target what? Shields, engine, weapons.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire to try to disable them specifically. I mean, if they really force it and we have to get lethal and destroy them, I will have no problem doing that.
So
But I want to try to disable them. So yeah, I'm gonna aim for shields or engines or something of that nature.
All right.
to
So
target
this is
the
like
idea.
a called shot. Called shots are essentially difficulty +1. But
Okay.
if you cause a breach, it will happen to the system that you want it to happen to.
Oh, great.
The good news is arrays your energy weapons are much easier to hit an enemy with than torpedoes at this point in time because you're at medium range already. So would normally be difficulty 2. If you want to target their engines, it would be difficulty 3.
Okay. That's fine. So firing the weapon, that's control plus security, correct? For firing a weapon of the ship?
Yes, and then it is assisted by the ship's weapons plus security.
Oh, okay, great. So let's see. That will give it so that I'd be rolling 2 with the assist. I'd be rolling 3. So that would be pretty much, I'd have to succeed on all 3 of them. So we have 4 momentum.
Yes.
I'm going to buy a die to make sure that we have a little bit more extra oomph on that. So I'll use one of our momentum to go ahead and get another d20 into the mix.
Yes.
So I'm going to roll. Now I'm assuming you roll for the ship, Al?
Oh, you guys decide who rolls for the ship.
Who rolls for weapons and security? Okay. All right, then I will roll my 3d20, and then we'll have let's have Sid go ahead and roll the weapons security. So 1d20 basically.
Plus anything?
No, just a straight roll, and it has to be under their target number of their weapons plus security. So my control plus security is going to be, I have 8 in control, and my security is a 3, so it has to be below at 11. So I only have 1 success with my roll, because I have a 2, a 19, and a 12.
Do you have any focuses that would improve that?
Let's see. I have Starship Weapons Systems, actually. So
Look
that
at
would.
you.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yep.
that would count as 2 successes.
Oh, perfect. Then I have 2. Yeah. Oh, geez, Sid's rolling a 2. Yeah, he's got it.
You got 3 successes here.
Cool.
Awesome. So you have hit them with your graviton array. Now, these gravitons bombard and tear through the shields and start making little gravimetric anomalies that start ripping things apart. Let's see. How much stress are these things going to inflict? I believe it is going to be 9.
Ooh, wow.
Would I be
roll
able to
9d6. We'll see what happens.
Would I be able to launch a probe and or do a sensor sweep while all that was going down?
On your next turn, you'll be able to do that.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of 3s, a lot of 2s, a lot of 4s, a lot of 5s.
Skill 6. All right, so let's see here. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage altogether. And these things are piercing 1. So because they're piercing 1, you're actually going to ignore 2 of their 6 resistance. There's 4 resistance remaining here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right now, you dealt 8 stress. I'm going to ignore 4 of it and lose 4 shields. There is 1 momentum spend that might be of interest to you here. And that momentum spend is you may spend 1 momentum to ignore 2 resistance of the ship. That's repeatable. So the ship currently has 4 resistance. If you want to get rid of 2 of that, you can spend 1 momentum and your breach will hit. Sorry, your hit will cause a breach.
Do it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely worth it then, if that's cool with the group, me using the momentum for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Yep, I'll spend that other one then. Yeah, definitely. We'll punch right through.
I'm gonna lose 6 shields. Down at that. I'm gonna suffer a breach to engines. So just double. So just so you know, each system can take a certain number of breaches before it becomes like not usable or even potentially dangerous to have on the ship. So because you are I'm a scale 6 ship. 3 breaches. The first 3 breaches will mean that I'm just damaged a little bit, and it just takes a minor action to fix that. If I get a 4th breach to engines, that's where things start getting pretty bad, and my ship won't be able to move around at all or anything like that.
Okay.
So, you guys went, we come back to me. I am going to perform a task. Let's see.
Damn Romulans.
Everywhere. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Right. Ooh, that's a bad one.
Good for us.
Momentum for that. So my shields are charging back up. A little bit. And it's back to you guys. So now, Prom, this is when you would want to scan for weakness or send a probe or something like that if you wanted. If Vasily wanted to change your defensive patterns. Martin, if you wanted to... Oh, one thing I forgot to say. It does require 1 power in order to fire an energy weapon. So, Gabriel, that actually is something that's important for you.
Yeah, I could do power management now and try to generate a power back.
Right. And here's the thing. Even though the ship only has, 9 power total? So you start with 9 power, you went down to 8. You can actually raise beyond 9 power. It's just that 9 is the normal power that your ship has. So when you do a regeneration task, you can go beyond 9 if you'd like.
Well, anybody want to jump in there? Do you guys want some power, or should we get some scans in place?
Well,
I
think we're already doing a scan from.
Yeah, would I be able to launch a probe and do a sensor sweep at the same time?
You could
Same
do
round?
one or the other.
All right, so I'll launch a probe for this turn.
Okay.
And then get ready.
Launch a probe. So, the sensor operator configures and launches a sensor probe in order to study situation more in depth from a safe distance. This does not require a roll. It has no difficulty. However, it reduces difficulty of task to make sensor sweep with regards to the phenomena by 2. Determines the range for scan of weakness from the probe. This means that hazards that result from the proximity of blah, blah, blah. Probe has resistance 1. So basically, if you were to scan for weakness next, it will reduce the difficulty to 0 on the next round of combat.
Yeah, we'll do. And
That's
then
cool.
can I kind of guess which way Vasily is kind of the ship is which direction the ship is more moving towards, so I can fire the probe opposite of the direction we're currently moving.
Yeah, so you want to keep like your backside covered?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
If we're maneuvering right, I fire it off to like the left side.
Yeah, that makes
left
sense.
front.
We'll say that probe, if there's any enemies coming from behind you, that probe will probably tip you off before you normally would have been.
Alrighty.
Cool. So that's your turn. Comes back to my turn. I am going to... I know what I'm going to do. I am going to do another maneuver. Here we go. I'm going to spend 1 die to add to this roll.
Oof.
All right. My attack pattern does not go off. So now it's back to you guys.
Fire again. What do you guys think?
And I'll, under my breath, I'll say, "You heard her, Vasily," with a little bit of a grin.
Yeah, I think so. That would be your what's that command action?
Can I fire from my station?
You would have to do an override minor action, and then your difficulty of the attack would be increased by 1.
Okay. Are you sure you want me to deviate from the current maneuvers?
I'm doing the typical, there's buttons I'm pushing and my hands are flying. And again, I just kind of grin and I say, "Can't handle it." But I don't tell them to change. I'm a little more playful in this moment. They're all going to notice, but
so to be clear, Eden, you are currently in a defensive pattern. Now, when it comes back to Vasily's turn, if he does not take the defensive pattern action again, you fall out of that, and you are difficulty 1 easier to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he would, I think, well, maybe he wouldn't know that I'm just actually just teasing, really. I'm not ordering him to deviate off course or anything like that, or to change the plan. As this is a meta aspect, as a player, I just don't want to go again before other people have turns. But if you guys want me to fire
In fact, you
again,
technically can't unless
right.
you spend your determination. But we're gonna leave determination out of this for now.
Sure.
So right
So
now,
that's really
Vasily
why.
has an action.
Okay.
So keep the
Jissa
point.
has an action. And
Yeah.
Gabriel
well,
has an action.
so question about that: if she's as the commanding officer, would her direct action enable Kevin's
Yes.
character to fire again?
Yes.
And that would count as her turn.
Correct.
Okay.
Ooh,
Nice.
that sounds like,
I like it.
that sounds like I think what you guys want to do.
I think that's what we were going for.
Nice. I love it. I love it.
So Jissa, the direct action.
That's just exactly what you just said you're going to do. That's the technical.
So just fire at them if we
Just
can.
command him to fire.
So Vicini
Or,
fire.
that's the guy. Edon, commander.
Edon.
Yeah, you can have me do it again. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so let's cripple the ship.
So yeah, so as I say, yeah, you can't handle it. I just go, okay, and I push the button myself. So I just had this.
And I believe that if this goes off and is successful, let me see. Trying to find what the role is for the task. You get to assist with your command as well. Correct. Here we go. Nominate a single other character who may immediately attempt a single task assisted by the commanding officer.
Nice.
So you get to fire, Eden, just as before. You get an assist from Jissa, and you get an assist from the ship's weapons.
Cool. So therefore, I'm not going to buy it. It's the same difficulty. Say still 3 to hit them.
Correct.
As last time. Okay. I won't buy any dice because we're at 3
I'm sorry.
right now.
It's difficulty 3 if you want to hit their engines. It's difficulty 2 if you want to hit a random.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just hit them. Maybe I'll hit them on the other side. Show them, give them the 1-2 combo. Let them know that we're not messing around and we're not going to just sit down and take this. So yeah, I'll just fire randomly onto their ship to maybe across their brow to let them know what's going on.
Awesome.
So yeah, I won't buy any dice. So I'll roll the 2d20, and then there'll be 1 for the ship, and then 1 for Jissa, correct? Oh boy. Well, both of mine are not going to work then because I have to roll below 11. I got a 15 and a 16, so I got nothing there.
So this is an interesting thing that doesn't happen very often. So because you rolled 0 successes, no assists can help you.
Great.
The thing just fails, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh,
That doesn't happen very often, but it's true. You have to get at least 1 success in order for assists to be able to help you.
Interesting. Okay.
Good to know.
So it was,
They have their own evasive maneuvers, apparently.
seriously.
So
awful.
oh yeah.
Doing something real quick. I'm actually gonna fly to a further range band away from you on that action.
Do you have the tactical overlay up or the bridge overlay up?
Yeah, for our positioning in space for the battle. Yeah, I don't currently see that.
Oh,
In
you want to see
Roll20, they
the
have
tactical? Okay. There we go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
we're still on the bridge. Oh yeah, this will be a little bit easier for us to see this then.
There we go.
Um,
Call, Matt.
I mean, we could always chase them and get closer.
Commander. Yes, Commander. Would you like to chase, or would you like to continue defensive maneuvers and remain in optimal range for our torpedoes?
I think you just answered that question. Let's keep doing what we're doing.
I like the expression on his face when I said the word torpedoes.
Yeah.
Like a child hearing chocolate.
So is Vasily going to act, or is Gabriel Martin going to act?
I think Vasily should go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
makes
will continue with evasive maneuvers.
All right.
So I
Control
have a
plus con, difficulty 1, assisted by the ship's structure plus con.
sorry. What was the first thing?
It's control plus con.
Okay.
The difficulty of 1.
Okay, so that's 13 for me, and this is assisted by the computer, so I get an extra.
The structure plus con.
Yeah. Okay, so I get 3 dice, and it's 13 for me. So that is 2 successes for me, and then there's going to be a roll for the ship.
Which is structure plus con.
Can somebody roll for the ship?
I can go ahead and do that.
Like it's a 12. Yep.
So one more success.
Would you?
I only roll 1 die there, Matt.
Oh, 1 die. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought that was 2. Let's. I'll just re-roll that if that's okay. Yeah,
No
don't.
help.
That'll do it.
But it is active, and you generated 1 momentum doing it, so that's good.
Because of my one of my implants is the cortical array, which allows me to interface directly. When I get assistance from a ship, I can re-roll the ship's d20.
Oh, do it. Do it.
So roll again.
Ooh.
There you go.
That's
So
more like
1
it.
extra momentum.
Up to 5 momentum.
Okay, and because we have succeeded on the evasive action task, one of my talents is glancing impact, so our resistance is increased by 2.
Nice.
Love that. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Nice.
They will
So
need very good luck to hit us from there.
oh, they're going to try.
Should not have said anything.
Oops.
So now you're only difficulty 4 to hit.
Only difficulty 4. Oh, they're torpedoing. Haha.
Oh no. It's a natural 20 mixed in there.
Right, they're going to miss again. Wow, I cannot roll to hit you. All right.
Our
They
pirates
are
are just
going to
back.
miss.
Great job, Vasily. Great job.
Now it's off to you guys.
I think we've all gone this turn now, right? So now we can.
No, I don't think.
I still have to I'll go ahead and do some power. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, you were rolling for the ship just now.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah. And evasive action takes up 1 power.
Okay,
Good
so
to know.
I am down 2 power now. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my 2d20. Difficulty of 2. Control plus engineering. I got a critical and double check my engineering here. Yeah, so they're critical and another success because I've got a
Nice.
16 for my engineering.
Awesome. So you got 3 total.
Yep.
So that is generating power.
Yeah, that's for the power management. Basically,
So
I'm
difficulty 2, which
one
can
for
see
power.
on a success. Ship regains 1 power plus 1 power from momentum each momentum spent. So do you want to spend that extra momentum to get power back to full?
Yeah, let's go ahead and spend that extra momentum. We'll be full strength.
Awesome. Cool. And now I am skill 6. I'm going to put out the fires that you did when you hit me with a breach. Put it out a little bit.
Keep coming.
Write some threat there. Alright, so we are done with round 1 of space combat. You got a breach in. I haven't been able to hit you yet. Like where this is going. So now back to the top. Before we go, I'm going to spend 2 threat, make the complication range is now 19 to 20. That's when bad things happen. 19s and 20s. It's off to you guys.
How long does that last?
That is a permanent scene trait for this combat.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Actually, I went first, so I get to go first again. That's right. Oh,
I do love that you can just keep doing that every time. Make people shoot things.
can't quite hit you. I'm gonna roll it anyways. Whatever. I'm gonna try to fire another torpedo at you.
So real quick, Al, I'm not trying to be that kid asking for the homework when the teacher forgot, but there is just one ship? I thought there was 2.
Only one.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I misremembered that.
Until the other one shows up.
That was
Yeah, so the other one uncloaks right behind us. No.
Yeah, there's one that you're aware of.
Okay.
You had to
Okay.
ask. You had to ask.
Right.
Okay.
So I rolled another complication. This is getting pretty bad for me.
Oh,
Give you guys a momentum for that.
cool.
And yeah, I only rolled 1, 2, 3 successes that time. Missed you again.
I mean,
Now it's up to you guys.
I mean, you like blowing things up. You're natural.
Should we maybe give them a chance to surrender?
Ah,
It's worth an ask, right? I don't know.
Open hailing frequencies is a task, I believe, right?
I think maybe you should do that.
Nobody's at the communication system. I guess
Oh.
technically we would have a supporting character there.
hail the ship. Hail the ship. This will be fun.
There's no response.
Oh, okay.
It was a free action.
All right.
Well, we asked nicely, I guess.
They're clearly up to no good.
Can I try to stop them in their place? With? Oh no, they're not close enough. I was gonna say with the tractor beam, but they have to be close for that.
Yeah, you have to be close
Quite
range.
far away. Can you take us closer? We can immobilize them and see if they want to talk to us then.
I mean, you are at optimal torpedo range, Commander.
Al, I will ask, what are the Starfleet regulations for firing in a situation? I mean, we're in a battle. If I fire on them, it's not going to be like, oh, he did something bad. And
I mean, I think you
Extraordinary.
followed the
Maybe
protocols
we should-
so far. You tried to open a hail. They're firing plasma torpedoes at you.
okay,
You know that whatever has happened amongst this group of Romulans, they're very unstable.
Okay. All right. So yeah, since we did ask nicely, I will fire the array again.
Array, or are you going to fire torpedoes?
You know what? I'll fire the torpedoes. Let's do the big guys. Let's get them in here. Let's see what they do. Let's rock and roll, y'all.
So torpedoes are going to be difficulty 3 to hit with.
Okay. So once again, I'm going to do control and security. I'm going to go ahead and buy some momentum because we have full stack of 6 right now. So I'm going to buy 2 dice just to make sure we're going to hit.
Nice.
So that's going to be 4 that I'm rolling. My difficulty is going to be 11 still. And I see that that's assisted again by the ship with the weapons security. So, Sid, would you be so kind as to roll a d20 for me for that, please, to help me out a little bit?
What am I rolling?
Just 1 d20 and see if you beat their. I think their target number was 12. You said.
Oh,
Sid, Al?
their
sounds
target
right.
number. Their target number. Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Rolling 2. No, I'm rolling 4. Excuse me. Phew.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So the target number was 11. I have 3 successes, and the fourth is not with a 12.
Nice. So torpedoes deal slightly less damage, but the damage is usually a bit more brutal. So let's see here. You can also fire.
And I do have starship weapon systems again with my focus that could apply here too.
Yeah. So they are high yield, and they are piercing ones. Go ahead and roll 8d6 for me, please.
Oh yes. 8d6. Here we go. Whoops. It helps if I type it into the wrong space. 4, 3, 1, 3, 1, 5, 2, 3.
All right. So, and let's remember, 1s are 1 damage, 2s are 2 damage, and 5s and 6s are 1 damage. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. Okay. Now you have 1, 5, which is an effect. That effect is piercing 1. So you do ignore 1 of my 6 resistance. I have 5
And I could buy the momentum. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. Go ahead.
So I've got 5 resistance remaining. So so there's a couple of things you can do here. Again, don't forget this costs 1 power to do, right? And you could spend momentum to ignore my resistance. 1 momentum ignores 2 resistance each. So you'd have to spend 3 momentum to ignore all my resistance. You would score another breach.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm making an executive decision, even though Jis is technically in charge right now. Yeah, I'll spend the 3. Yeah, and I'll blast right through it. I'll shoot them right in the engine again and try to immobilize them.
So I'm gonna
That's nicely.
I'll lose 5 shields here. That's my power. That should be it. 9. So I'm gonna lose 5 shields here. And take a breach. However, this is high yield, which reads, if you deal a breach, it deals 1 additional breach. So I need you to roll 1d6 to find out what system is injured.
4.
Let's see if I can find the table. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 1d20, not 1d6.
Oh, we're on d20. Yep, sure. Natural 1.
So that's 2 breaches to communications. My communications are messed up now, which means I can't respond to you even if I wanted to.
Well, I'm glad we tried first.
Yeah. You're on record
My
trying.
conscience is clear, you know.
How convenient.
That's them wanting to surrender.
The War Crimes Tribunal always takes into account that we knocked out communications first.
I actually lose 2 power.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm using special different damage rules for NPC ships just so I can try to keep track of what's happening with yours. That was a brutal one. That was a good hit.
Cool.
All right, these guys are gonna try something now. Let's see. Oh, all right. That actually is going to generate me 1 momentum. And now you notice that we are in evasive maneuvers. Which are really weird with this type of ship, too.
Perhaps
Now you guys can go.
Perhaps Prom can figure out exact nature of their maneuvers and anticipate them.
Would that be a sensor sweep or a scan for weakness?
That would be a scan for weakness.
All right, so we just blew through their engines, right?
Say that
Now
again?
hit their communications.
Oh, the communications. I'm sorry.
I was aiming for the engines, but you know, things happen.
Yeah, I guess I'll do a scan for weakness. This one. Yeah, scan for weakness, and I'll use I want to use the range of the probe, which should have been more to the front of the ship.
I will say that this is difficulty 0, actually.
Okay, okie. So that's scan for
Like that.
weakness.
I'm still
So
gonna
that's,
have you roll it though because of the complication range.
1 or 2 dice.
2 dice, yeah.
2. All right.
And someone else can roll sensors plus security.
Don't have anything.
You want to roll, Adela?
And 2 successes.
Nice.
It's reason plus science, right? And just make sure.
Scan for weakness is control plus science.
That's not what this says. I might be looking for the wrong thing.
I've got
Either
sensor
way.
is reason plus science, and scan for weakness is control plus science.
Oh, this is
Sounds
reason.
more like
All right.
reason to me. I'll let you use reason.
I mean, either they're both the same thing, so it's
Okay.
still 2 successes.
So I see 3 successes total here.
Nice.
So we're gonna bank that. You got 4 momentum now, and what that allows you to do is your next attack before the end of the sensor operator's next turn gains the piercing 2 quality. So your piercing will go up to piercing 2 instead of piercing 1.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Which again, that is the ability that if you roll a 5 or a 6, you would then ignore 2 resistance for each 5 or 6 that you roll.
Okay.
This reference sheet says CD. CD. What are CD? What is CD?
Not
Maybe
sure.
something dice. I'm not sure.
This is for
What's the context in which it says it?
Successful scan for weakness equals next attack gains piercing 2. Plus, if any additional CD are bought, inflicts 1 additional CD per bonus D20 bought.
combat dice. Are there combat dice?
Combat dice. That's challenge dice is actually what it's called.
Challenge dice, yeah.
Challenge dice.
Cool.
Kevin, you're right. Dice something. Something dice.
Hey, when in doubt, when you're playing a TTRPG, assume it's dice,
That's true. That's fair.
All right, I'm gonna do something. And let's see. Let's get some shields back. Oh, there we go. Regenerate shields is difficulty 1, assisted by. Not. Yeah, that is just enough. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Regenerating shields is difficulty 1. So I regain 2 shields plus 2 per momentum spent. I'm actually gonna just take that as threat and get my 2 shields back. Go up to 11. Back to you guys.
Okay. Guess they're not going to go quietly.
Well, I think either Vasily or Jissa.
I mean, I can continue evasive, or if we, I don't know if we want to move closer. We've been firing torpedoes, so it's.
Yeah, we're in a pretty prime location
What do we
right
get
now. But...
for
Yeah, the benefit to firing torpedoes is you get that 1 additional breach if you inflict a breach.
Yeah. And we've done the sensor sweep. I mean, we could go into an attack pattern, but we've been, it's been good to not be hit by things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True?
I mean, are we looking to win? Are we looking to talk to them?
We're always looking to win. But
Time for talking is over. Time for
Yeah.
talking ended when we blew up their communications array.
yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
We could always like gas them and board the ship and see what they're doing. But my vote is for disabling the ship completely to leave them dead in space. And if we want to see what they're up to, we could always go on board. The thought.
That probably means precision shooting.
Okay, good to know.
Or take them all out. I mean, we have the torpedoes. That's my
Kill
vote.
them all.
So
But I feel that we have commanders on board that this should be more of a group decision.
I do have to. One thing that I just read that we have forgotten: each time torpedoes are fired, 1 is added to threat.
Oh,
So
okay,
I forgot all about that rule.
okay. Then that's on both sides, our torpedoes and their torpedoes.
So technically, I would have to spend 1 threat, I think, to fire them. Let me read. Let me
I
reread
see.
it.
Okay.
Reread it. Give me just a moment.
So just while we're deciding, I think you should go first because the way that evasive works, it lasts until the end of my turn. So if I go now, it'll potentially end earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
if
you're right
you-
about that.
Like if you go, then they shoot us, we still get the benefit of evasive, and then we can switch to something else. Or continue evasive, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting. I think it's the same for the scan weakness. So like the timing of the turns gets interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that case,
Like-
yeah.
How much more do we need to heal up our ship at this point?
Our ship is fine.
Yeah,
I
we're
just
still
think we
good.
have at the end. I think as long as we just always have kind of like Vasily and then me go at the end, we'll just kind of keep the ship going.
Keep us flying. Yeah.
Can I do a sensor sweep then?
Yeah,
If-
do another.
I
sensor.
think you've already gone this round for scan for weakness, right?
Oh, okay. No,
Well, she
yeah.
she can maybe direct you to do that if that's
Could direct you to do that. That is true.
Does that
Or
stack
she
at
can
all?
direct you to fire again.
Right.
Let's fire an array again, but focus on their engines or their,
okay.
their engines.
Try to take them out directly. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking too, based on what we had just talked about. So yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna fire your graviton array.
Yeah, I'll try the array. Again, I'm trying to disable their engine. Not enough so that they will just be completely destroyed, but enough for them to, as she said, make them dead in the water so they don't have anything left to do to
All
us.
right, so let me just clarify because moved into long range. Array's ideal range band is medium.
Okay.
That makes it +1 difficulty. You want to target engines, which makes it +1 difficulty.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in evasive maneuvers. That would make this difficulty 5.
Which is quite a bit. And if I fire the torpedoes, it goes to 4 because of the evasive.
Correct.
Okay. I'll fire the torpedoes again. We'll see what happens.
Buy some dice.
Yeah, I'll because we have 4 momentum. Yeah, I'll buy 2 dice.
Yeah, Jissa likes our crew members, so she doesn't want to mess around. Like these guys have been kind of a thorn in our side for quite some time at this point.
Since episode 1, in fact.
Let's
Yeah,
end
pretty much.
at least. We don't know
Yeah.
what's around the corner. Let's just get rid of them.
Time to
Are
end
you
it. Yep,
targeting engines?
that adds 1 to the difficulty if I do?
Yes.
No, I'll just fire at them then.
Okay. So it's
Leave it
difficult.
all
So
behind
yeah.
for me.
So 3 for torpedoes, +1 for evasive. So yeah, difficulty 4 here.
Okay, and I'm rolling 4 dice because I bought the momentum, and then it's going to be the 1 for the ship. Andrew, if you want to roll, I guess, for me.
Sure.
Switched up, keep everybody involved here. So I'm rolling an 11. I have 2 successes on my 4 dice.
3 was mine.
3, so that's another one. So that's 3 successes, which is, well, we needed 4, correct?
Correct.
Does my focus, I forget my focus, does it help me here?
It would only help you if it would improve your crit range if you were, 3 or better?
Right, but that doesn't apply here. Okay.
All right, so we're going to buy a full hand and fire back at you.
Now I'm gonna be the kid talking to the teacher, but the 19's a complication.
I was gonna rat us out
On
too.
mine, yeah. You're
Right.
You're right.
Right, I'll just take it as threat.
Oh, he's so nice.
All right. So,
There's nothing else we can do to make it so that I get a 4 somehow? So I
no.
can hit him? No? Okay, that's fine. They're being invasive. No worries.
Oh dear.
I think he might have finally hit us.
That's a lot of successes. Hold
It
on.
is.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes. The torpedoes.
Hang on, where's the to hit?
Oh wait, that's 5d6. I need. That
That's your
doesn't make any sense.
That's your damage if you hit us, so
No wonder
that's something to look forward to, everybody.
I rolled much more damage than that.
Another nat 20. Oh my god.
What is going on here?
Al, roll 20 hates you tonight, sir.
I know. So.
Roll 20 wants us to take this, man.
Seriously. I'll give you a couple of momentum for that complication. I could still technically hit you with the ship assist.
They get so desperate that they come toward us and just ram us because they have nothing else.
See, this is why Vasily pointed out he shouldn't take the action until the end. Because
Right.
if he had gone out of the attack pattern, I would have hit you.
Mm-hmm.
So, or the defensive pattern, I would have hit you. So now I hand back to you. Now Vasily can do their action.
Commander, continue in defensive, or are we going on an attack? Or are we going closer?
What do you think about going closer?
Is impulse a full action?
I believe it is, yep.
Yeah, okay.
And you can move anywhere within 2 range bands.
Ideal. What would be ideal for our phaser-like things?
The array is medium.
Medium range. So you want to be
So-
1 closer, essentially.
Take us in.
All
Let's
right.
end this.
All right. Taking us in.
But you want to get, impulse. Flight control uses the ship's impulse engines to adjust position and move anywhere within long range. So where would you like to get?
So, well, ideal for here would put us into ideal range for our phasers, right?
Yeah, one band closer. Yeah.
Unless they decide to move. If
Right.
we move 2 bands closer, are we still in ideal range, or does it get worse?
I think it gets worse.
The difficulty goes up, right?
'Cause you don't
Okay,
have any
then-
close
then-
weapons.
Then just
Close
curious.
range is bad for phasers, or the array.
So yeah, phasers and most energy weapons that the Federation would have are medium range. Things like disruptors are close range.
Gotcha.
So there is a penalty for firing phasers at close.
Yes.
Okay, so just here is good then.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a role for this. So
Nope. But it is an action. So, and then I will wrap up with moving to right there. And that is the end of round 2. So we've been playing for an hour and 15 minutes, and we've done 2 rounds of space combat.
no, we haven't.
Wild.
That speeds up much more quickly once you get the grasp of what exactly actions you can do, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to propose we take a break here.
Let's do it. Absolutely.
And then come back in 5 minutes, and maybe the next round or two, you'll be able to destroy these guys.
Cool.
That sounds
You
perfect.
mind if I
We'll take
At least scare them off.
Can I go
Yes.
real quick and just do the power management thing? I think.
Yeah, because you haven't gone yet this round?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your power management, and then we'll take a break.
Regenerate some power here. That's not great.
That's not great at all.
That's not great. 2 18s. Yikes.
That would be no power this turn.
Nope. Okay. Cool.
Oh, boy.
So we're down to 7, just so we know.
Okay.
My power regeneration didn't happen this round either, just so you know.
Okay.
I tried.
Well, that's good. Well, cool. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and let's take our power regeneration. Let's take the 5-minute break, as Al suggested. Everybody at home, please get some power, go to the restroom, grab a drink, grab a snack, but come back and watch us eviscerate some Romulans. I mean, have rest of a fight. Thanks so much for watching so far. We'll see you shortly. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
And we are back. Thank you, everybody, for coming on back. I hope you enjoyed the break. Hope you're ready for some more action, because we sure are. So, Al, please take us back into our battle between the USS Ginsburg and this Romulan warbird.
So we've had 2 rounds of combat. The Ginsburg has struck a couple of really nice hits on the warbird. It is a rugged ship, so it's it's not in rough shape right now, but those on board are not happy. And we have moved closer towards each other, both ships opting to get out of their defensive patterns. It's we'll see what happens here. We're in close range to each other's now, which the Romulans might have a slight advantage on because their disruptors on their ship are meant to be close range, whereas the Ginsburg's weapons are meant to be medium to long range. So we'll see what happens next. So the first thing that I'm going to do is shoot at you.
Sure.
All right, I've got 3 threat. Oh, what the heck? I'm going to spend it all. And we're going to roll 4 dice, assisted by the ship.
Do they have close range weapons?
Have what?
Do they have close range weapons, or are they medium also?
They do have close range weapons.
Yeah, they think they got us right where they want us, but
They don't.
Right, so that is 2 successes, and you guys are no longer in defensive pattern?
Nope.
right? Because we moved.
That's going to be a hit, actually.
Okay.
Just barely. I rolled pretty poorly.
And a complication?
And a complication, so I'll give you guys another momentum for that.
Excellent.
So, let's see. Disruptor Banks. Okay. That's a lot of dice.
That is a lot of dice.
All right. So
You want Joe?
There's a lot
1,
of 6s in there.
3, 4, 5, 6. So the disruptors have the vicious 1 quality. So every 5 and a 6 deals 1 additional damage. So I'll count this again. So this is actually going to count as 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage altogether.
Oh boy.
So, you have resistance on your ship, if I'm not mistaken, equal to your ship's scale. And you are a scale 5 ship or 4?
5.
So you're going to resist 5 of this. You're still going to lose 5 shields. And that's going to be a breach. Let's see where that breach is going.
Oh boy.
Oh, 17. Let's see where the breach is going. 17 is structure. So what happens when your structure is hit? Impact. Whenever the structure suffers one or more breaches, the entire ship shudders. Power conduits rupture, consoles explode, and personnel are hurled around. Roll 1d6. An effect is rolled? It was not. Then a random character on the ship has been injured. Blah, blah, blah. So, nobody here is injured. Your structure has been what we call impacted. Your structure takes 2 more breaches. That's when things start getting really bad. When you start getting like holes in the wall and and whatnot that you have to deal with. But right now, fine. Nobody got hurt, which is good. Now it's off to y'all.
Medical assist in fixing that breach, or would medical be able to assist if it were like an actual area?
Can you say that again, Jessa?
Or would medical be able to help a structural breach? Because I thought at one point I saw something about medical being able to help, like if it were.
Oh yeah, the thing about helping when the ship suffers one or more breaches during a scene, characters can choose a single department and attempt to guarantee this medicine task. If 2, by the ship's computers with medicine. If successful, the next task will choose that department and re-roll 1d20. With injured personnel come back to that department.
So you'd have to be in sick bay, basically.
Yeah, and you're in command of the ship right now.
And we don't have
Alright. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
But it is your turn in combat now.
Alright. Can I take my turn and give inspiration to whoever is going to be firing?
Can.
I would like to do that, whomever that is.
Let's see.
Vasily, is it going to be?
So you've got a couple of different things that you can do. You can attempt to create some sort of advantage, which would be morale boost. That would be a difficulty 2. Probably, depending on how you give your little mini speech plus command. You could rally, which is just strictly will generate momentum for people to use later. Those are really the 2 big ones.
A rally. And
A rally is specifically an action just to generate momentum.
okay, let's do that.
If you wanted to create an advantage of inspired crew or something like that, that would be like a permanent thing that's added to the scene.
Okay, I like that.
That becomes difficulty 2 instead of difficulty 0.
All right, I like that.
Inspire us.
Whew, that's really putting a person on the spot there. I know that within all of you, you have the drive, you have the need. We must prevail. These people have been at our toes long enough. Let's end this. And I know you all can do it.
Awesome. So this is going to be, let's call it presence plus command. Difficulty 2. No assists.
2. Yep.
Nice.
Oh, you got it.
Roll.
So inspired crew. This is going to become a scene trait that is going to come into play at some point in time.
Cool.
It'll probably help you guys do better on things. It might get a reroll. We'll figure it out once it happens.
This is broken.
But your crew is now inspired by your words. Now it's my turn. Let's see.
Boy.
Oh.
Well,
Wow.
I did not generate any power because I rolled 2. I think that's my 5th and 6th 20 already tonight.
It
That's
is,
so
yeah,
good in a
it's-
different game.
Oh man. Oh man.
Brutal. So yeah, no power regenerated here. Back to you guys.
Like, is your
Nice.
city already getting a little shaky over there, or what?
Oh boy. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I wanted to do like a sensor sweep.
Hey, what are you
Or,
looking for?
or I mean, if there's something better than just a sensor sweep, then we could go ahead. But if not, I'll do this. I'll do the sweep. But I'm looking for try to see how many life signs and try to get an idea of the state the ship the Romulan ship is in, if possible.
Perfect. This is reason plus science. Assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
That's
Difficulty 0.
is 2d20, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And my computer's focus doesn't get an extra dice.
Correct.
Oh,
Would make your crit better.
in the nick of time. When I succeed, and then can I use that ability?
What's it say?
Whenever you succeed at an engineering or science task as part of an extended task. Testing a theory.
Not doing an extended task right now.
Testing a theory is the one I was looking for. Attempted tasks for engineering or science, you may roll 1 additional d20 so long as you succeed at a previous task covering the same scientific or technological field earlier at the same adventure.
I mean, you haven't really been doing anything scientifically or technologically here. This is more of a security type. And if they had a special weapon on there that you didn't know about, you could try to analyze that with your sensor sweep, and that might tell you a little bit more.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll instead of trying to see what state it's in or the status of everything, I'll see if there's any one life sign, how many life signs, and if there's anything special they haven't sort of different in the layout of the ship to indicate like a special weapon or anything like that. So there's 2 of them. That is 3 successes.
Successes. All right, so you get 3 questions. So there are currently 379 people on board the ship. Ship has it fires plasma torpedoes, which is a technology that the Federation has not been able to really replicate. And the plasma torpedoes are especially nasty because they linger. They leave an electrical field around the ship's hull that continues to wear away at the hull after the explosion has happened.
Great.
Yeah, I relay all of that to the
You've currently dodged 3 of those plasma torpedoes, or 2 of those plasma torpedoes.
Yeah, well, Vasily, that's good piloting because those are in trouble.
Yeah, they are nasty to be hit with.
So yeah, I relay that to the bridge, in attempts to see if we can come up, with a plan on how to use that against them. You said 379 people, right?
So that's your 3 bits of information you get from your sweep. You can spend momentum to learn more things if you want.
No. I don't think I have anything else I can think of right now.
I fail at what I'm trying to do. All right, back to you guys.
Man. So when we got hit, I just want to be sure. What are the shields looking at? The shields are damaged, or the shields are still holding? We took a breach.
We are down 5 shields.
Okay. So basically, in this moment, do I want to attack, or do I want to try to help modulate the shields up and get us some resistance back?
It's on you.
All right, I'm going to say to Vasily.
There's a couple of things we could do as well. Like, we could have Vasily move us back into your range. I can also regenerate my engineering. I mean, we could do something like he moves us, I regenerate shields, and then you fire. And then we'll be back in a better range and have some shields.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
so I'll kind of, even though Jis is in charge, I'm going to kind of under my breath to Vasily, because we're both kind of in the front together. I'm going to say, they punched us in the eye. Let's not let him get a shot at the ribs, eh?
Understood. I will move us back. I've been reading the Starfleet manual here on how to pilot a ship. There is an option to spend 2 momentum to do a second task. Oh, that's only if you've succeeded at a task, right?
Where are you seeing this? Do you have a page number?
220.
220?
Under tasks on the right side of the page.
So that would be, if we were spending determination.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you were going to spend your determination, instead of getting like a die that is assumed to have rolled 2 successes, you could spend your determination and take another full action.
Okay. I will spend my
Do
determination.
that with 2 momentum too, I guess it looks like. Spending 2 momentum from a successful task to attempt a second task.
Yes.
But that increases difficulty.
Correct.
So I guess that's 2 momentum generated by the task is what it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So let's do this. Instead of moving back, I will take evasive action. And I'm going to see if I can generate enough momentum to also take another action and move us back.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Like it.
And also, I think I rolled the wrong thing last time, because 1 second. Helm. Evasive action is daring plus con. Okay. So evasive action, I get +1. I will buy 1 die with momentum.
Okay.
Which will give me 4. And I have cautious con, which lets me reroll them.
Nice.
So I will reroll the 20. So that is 4 successes.
Perfect.
And I get the ship assist. Right?
Yep.
Kevin, since we're coordinating, do you want to roll the ship?
Yeah, I'm happy to. 8.
Thanks.
So that is
5 successes total. So 1 goes in here. You have 4 momentum left. So would you like to spend 2 of those to take another action?
Yes, and then I will move us back in a swoop.
Nice.
There we go.
I love it.
So we're
now
in
at
the
medium range from the enemy ship.
Oh, hang on a second. But if we do it in that order, does defensive go down? Because technically No, because I've taken another action, but I haven't taken another turn.
Right, it says turn. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I've not done this before.
My turn. Let's see. What are we going to try to do and fail at?
Hey, you haven't rolled
Oh no! Oh no!
Have you made a roll without a complication tonight?
I don't think so. One attack, maybe. And that attack even had a complication in it. Wow. All right. Awesome. Back to you guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and regenerate shields real quick, if that's alright with you guys.
Please, yeah.
What's that? Okay, come on. Control plus engineering. Ooh, that's complicated.
Oh boy.
It's only a difficulty of 1 though, so that's not too bad. So we get 2 points back. I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 momentum to get us all the way, get 5 points back, right? Because I spend.
Yep.
Yeah, so that'll get us up to full shields.
All right, I'm gonna go back out here, and back to you guys.
Oh boy.
You're in torpedo.
Yep, I was just gonna say. I get that wolfish grin yet again, and and I'm gonna just take the shot. So again, it's gonna be firing weapons, control and security, which for me is gonna be an 11. It's difficulty 3 still. We have 4 momentum, correct?
Yes.
All right, I'll buy 2, which takes us down to 2 momentum, correct?
It'll cost you 3 momentum.
3 momentum. Okay, I'll still do it. I'll be that guy. So I'm rolling 4, and then the ship's gonna help me out with the weapons and security. So Matt, if you wouldn't mind, roll for it, please. That extra 20 for me. I am gonna get no successes on my die. That's amazing.
That's gonna get 2.
Amazing stuff.
That's not enough.
Sorry, with all that momentum gone, guys.
All right, I'm gonna fire one back at you, I guess.
Well, at least Basili can do what he's supposed to be doing, so I think we're okay.
Let's see how many complications we roll here. All right.
Bound to get eventually.
I probably just jinxed it.
Hey, no
miss.
No complications, but a miss.
If we're playing D&D, I'd be.
Oh, dude, I'd
wrecking
be
you
rocking
guys.
tonight, man. Yeah, we'd all be dead. We'd all be dead right now.
All right, back to you. Is everyone gone?
I think we've all gone this turn. Yeah. New turn.
Yeah, I think that was, yeah.
All right, back to the top of.
We go last.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, but we did it out of order this time because you moved us, and then he did the shields, and then I fired.
But it's still we should still go last. If he goes first, we should go last by the number of total turns.
No, technically I'm a scale 6 ship, so I get 6 actions. And
Oh,
you guys are
okay.
only taking 5.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I
right.
have a question about that, Al, just from a curiosity standpoint. For the opponent's ship, I guess from a tactical standpoint, for their opponent's ship, are they limited to what actions they can take like we are, or they can do any actions they want? Like, can they move 6 times if they want to?
No, they have to. I have the same stations on my ship that I've been rolling on, which is why I try to generate power, I try to generate shields, and so on and so forth.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to do.
And interestingly, when you're using the simplified damage rules for NPC ships, it works a little bit differently. So that turn where you hit me real hard, I took 1 less action that turn. To symbolize my guys going around trying to put out fires and whatnot. But that last round, a whole lot of nothing happens. So let's try something here. That is not. Generate power is I'm sorry, regenerate shields. No, I need power, not shields. Difficulty 2. I failed. Which can succeed at a cost. Yeah, no, I'm good. All right, over to you guys.
Alrighty.
I think I'd like to gain a momentum. I think on my turn.
Yeah.
You're gonna rally us some more.
It's a difficulty of 0, but presence plus command.
Presence plus command. Hold on. That is a 9 and a 2.
So beat 11. But so you don't have to beat anything. We'll just see how much momentum you gain on top of it.
1, 2, 3.
Nice. All right.
Oh, is that 3?
Yeah.
You have well, it's 2, but do you have any focuses that would improve your crit range on that, Adela?
Diplomacy.
You're not being diplomatic with your crew.
No.
All right, we'll
No.
take 2. Awesome.
Hey, 2's good.
Yeah.
Right.
So how
Yeah.
does that mean? So when it's a difficulty of 0, so she's automatically going to generate 1 momentum, and then for each success, does that mean she generates another momentum?
That's right. You're right. So she's gonna get 3 momentum altogether. You're right.
Nice.
Nice.
Like-
Let's do.
Way to rally us.
Nice.
There for my team. Just wait until
Something
next
happened.
Oh, something, guys. You rolled okay. Uh oh.
Wow.
Something happened. All right. Awesome. Over to you.
Can I do another scan for weakness?
Can, yeah. I'll give you guys piercing 2 when you hit.
Yeah. Does that scan for weakness? That's a per turn thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like for each action he takes. Yeah.
And you said that's a control and science.
Correct.
2 of them. Do we? Let's just.
Got it.
Yep.
Next attack against this thing has piercing 2.
Yes.
Right.
Very nice.
Let's see. I mean, I guess I'll fire a torpedo at you.
turn.
It's like scanning.
Bad.
Wow.
All right.
Another
Uh,
I swear,
Seriously?
we're laughing with you, Al.
Oh, I know.
promise.
I know.
Oh
know.
goodness.
This is great. For those of you that can't see the dice rolls, I rolled yet another complications on that attack. So, over to you guys.
I'm gonna open fire if I can.
But do you want to unleash everything?
Do it. Do it.
Is
Do
it a
it.
different difficulty
Oh.
number I'm trying to hit?
There's a special thing with torpedoes.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it right now called full spread,
Ooh, okay. I don't see it.
and it will increase the damage by 1. I believe. I'm just trying to find the rules for it. But it's really, really brutal. Torpedo. Here it is.
Also, they just
Okay, so yeah,
fired.
a salvo attack. firing a salvo of torpedoes adds +3 to threat instead of +1, but it increases the attack's damage by 1 and grants the spread effect to the attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Before
I'm gonna
you
hit it
do,
with everything.
before you do, they just
Yeah.
fired, so might be worthwhile to go into an attack pattern. I say very hesitantly.
You have been noticing that they've been putting out 2 attacks around. Might have 2 tactical stations regularly on their ships.
Anyhow, I'm gonna put that out there for the commander to decide. That's why I'm not in charge.
I think in this moment, I'm just too busy charging up things to get ready to do that spread. So I'm gonna say I don't actually quite hear him in this moment. So just what do you think?
Should listen to Vasili.
Sorry, what was that?
So yeah, let's
She wants you to do an attack pattern.
yeah,
Have him do the attack pattern.
have him do the attack pattern.
Okay. Initiating attack pattern. Attack pattern is Daring Con, difficulty 2, assisted by Weapons Con. Daring Con. We have 4. I have 3 dice, I'm okay. That is
Especially with that one. Yes.
That is 4 successes, as I have a 5 in con. Kevin, do you want to roll the assist since you're on weapons?
Yeah, let's do it. 5. Yep.
So that is 5 successes.
5 successes total. So 3 momentum.
We're going to an attack pattern, which I will tell you what it does, because it does things.
+1
Lost it.
reduces the difficulty to hit by 1, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright,
Definitely.
while you do that, I'm gonna miss with another attack real quick. Hold on.
While
This
he's
is where he
missing,
rolls 2 nat ones, guys. Watch. This
Hey,
is where
we're
he's
not
gonna
in
kill himself.
defensive anymore, so
while he's missing, what do you name the attack pattern?
sorry.
It's got to have a cool name. It's got to have a cool name. Attack pattern.
Oh, it's
Last one we used was Rude.
Uh-oh.
oh shit.
Al's coming alive now.
Man,
Al's coming alive now. It's a nat 1 in there, baby.
That's 3, which is enough now that you've come out of your attack pattern. Oh, okay. So this does something interesting and fun. Alright, so that's not dealing a lot of damage. Let's see. So that's only going to be 2 shields lost. However, you are now enveloped in this magnetic field that is going to hurt you next turn as well.
Great.
Kind of fun.
Cool.
It's not going to be a next
All right,
turn.
I'm gonna. So yeah, I'm gonna open it all up then. I finished typing in the commands, light it up, hit the fire button.
You buying any dice?
Yeah, for sure. So just to be sure, I'm rolling. It's still regular fire, but what is the different attack strategy? Does it
Reduce
something else did?
difficulty by 1.
Okay, I'll take that. Very cool.
So this guy is difficulty 2 to hit with your
okay.
full out
Torpedoes.
blast. This could very well damage it brutally.
Okay.
hit.
I'm going to. I'll buy 2. So I'll spend 3 to buy 2. I'm gonna roll 4. And yeah, let's hope this does it here. It's gonna be weapons and security on the assist, if you wouldn't mind, Andrew.
Absolutely.
Oh boy, I got a natural 1, and that gives me 2 successes, and that's all that I got for
Uh,
successes is 2. But
what
that was
what
enough.
what do we got in weapons and security in this?
I think it's a 12.
Weapons is 11, and security is 415. So I think I get a
Oh,
success.
15.
1, 2,
Yeah, so I
3.
got
So
a
you're actually going to hit. You're going to generate 1 momentum. Go ahead and roll
Excellent.
your damage dice.
Which was 8, correct? 8d6?
And you get an extra one because you're doing the full spread, right?
Yes, that's right. 96, and it's got 2 piercing.
It's got piercing 2. It's got spread. It's got a lot of stuff going on right now.
6, 5, 3, 4, 6, 2, 6, 3, 3.
All right. So the 6s are going to flat out ignore the resistance. Go ahead and roll 1 additional. Well, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 6 damage. Go ahead and roll another d20 just to see what system is going to suffer the breach.
Be happy to. That's a 6.
It's a 6. So that is engines are going to get their second breach, which is bad for them. And now I just need to read all what spread does. Oh no, is it spread? Yeah, I think it is. So I think that you're actually going to cause an additional hit that deals half this damage to something else, which is insane.
Is that another d20 that I need to roll for the system?
Yes. So roll another d20. Oh wait, you know what? The additional hit is not going to deal. It's not going to be a breach.
Okay.
Because the additional hit is going to deal half of what you dealt. So 3.
Right. The secondary system is going to be 15.
Alright, so I'm going to take 6 plus 3, which is 9. My shields are down to 2. Let's see. I don't have a warp core imminent yet. That's good. I'm damaged.
I mean, is it?
Is it good?
Did we have something that caused extra breaches? Was that our special torpedoes?
As the
Yeah,
full
I thought there was that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, high yield deals an additional breach.
Yeah.
To
Which would be
engines.
the
That's
third
4
engine breach.
engines have suffered 4 breaches, which means they are damaged. All tasks attempted by the ship are difficulty +2. The difficulty to repair this is tough. Right. So is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
This thing goes to warp. Oh, it can't go to warp. It doesn't have enough power.
Nope.
You know what? It's gonna spend its last 2 power to go invisible and disappear because you guys just destroyed it.
But they can't move because their engines are down, so they're invisible.
Their engines are working.
Oh.
Their engines are working. But they just used the last of their power to go to cloak.
I'm sure.
They're damaged. Their engines are damaged.
Okay.
I'm sure Praham can find them very, very easily.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to come down from initiative because I think that you guys sufficiently dealt with this threat.
Yeah.
And I think that, we've kind of illustrated how this all works, and so on and so forth. I very rarely recommend a starship fight at the beginning of a mission because it always helps to have threat lying around from a GM perspective. Yeah, that's the gist of how space combat works.
Very cool.
You guys have any questions? I didn't really get any of your stuff damaged. Like, you need to get multiple breaches before stuff needs to get damaged, and you have to go start dealing with it. Which happens typically when there's more than one enemy ship.
Or if you roll better.
Well, or if
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you don't roll complications that are draining your. So I don't know if you guys saw, but I was taking a power away with every complication that I rolled.
Oh wow.
And every time I tried to regenerate power, I rolled another complication. So.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah,
like
that's brutal.
theoretically, your ship was like another class above ours, so it should have been a, you know.
I mean, it was one scale higher than yours, but everything else was about the same, like on par, as far as I had one more resistance. I think I had one more shield. Um, yeah, still was it was a good fight. So after this, I know that you guys would try to pursue them for a little bit, and they are not interested in being captured, so they will try to dodge you for a bit. But eventually, we'll make our way back to Rendra Station, which was your home base that you left a couple weeks ago before you started this whole fiasco. And there is they're expecting your return, and of course, ask you to put together some reports. Captain comes to. Doesn't remember a lot of what has happened over the last few days, and applauds you all for stopping whatever it was that you needed to stop. And yeah, that is the end of that mission.
All right.
Yay. Great work, everybody. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
That ship may have had better stats, but they did not have this crew.
No,
That's it.
that is true.
That's it.
That is true. They did. They had a tough time, tough go of it. But yeah. So like other things that can happen in space combat that we didn't see is like you needing to send out repair teams to fix breaches. You can also throw in boarding. We didn't put in cover or concealment, which in this game is really strange. I love it because it's so flavorful. But basically, if you are seeking cover behind, say, like an asteroid, it provides a number of challenge dice that you roll. And for every hit, it counts as +1 resistance. But what's interesting is the stuff that you're hiding behind, you can give traits to, like explosive, for example. So if you roll an effect on your dice that you're trying to get from the cover, then whatever it is, let's say it's a crystal moon, piece of crystal blows off and hurts everything in the area and things like that. So that's fun too.
I like it.
You get to a point eventually, like after a few rounds, you can see why power management is such a big deal. One thing we didn't do was when you're shooting an energy weapon, any energy weapon, you can spend 1 power to add 1 challenge dice damage to the attack. So if you know that like you need to get over some resistance, that's a really important thing. I mean, Ginsburg has some really cool different weapons than what phasers would do. Phasers are more versatile, but they're not as dangerous, I don't think, as what the graviton weapons do. I'm trying to think what else we didn't get to see. Boarding actions are a thing. So like you can security can like send out security teams to deal with orders, or you could literally just be somewhere on the ship where a boarding action is taking place, and then you have personal combat going on during your turn while ship combat is happening as well. That's always cool to see, when you're doing stuff elsewhere in the ship and not on the bridge. Shuttles and small craft, so scale 1 and 2 craft are +1, like they're harder to hit because they're so tiny. So they would have an additional +1 difficulty to be hit by bigger scale ships, which is fascinating as well. If you wanted to put together like an alien species that use mostly small ships.
I can't remember. Do we have Peregrine fighters on the Sakura class?
I think the character sheet. I don't think we ever really got detailed with our um,
Right.
shuttles. It says an Arrow shuttle, a mission scout, couple of Type 6s, couple of Type 7s, couple of Type 8s. I don't know. I haven't double checked see if those numbers are right in a while.
That would have been cool for sure, but that'd be kind of cool to have. Watch our fighters.
Yeah, and we have a blade of armor, which is great. That gives that boosts our resistance quite a bit. Um, you know, redundant systems. That's nice. In fact, if you had suffered a breach and one of your systems had gone down, you would have still been able to do stuff because of the redundant systems. Cool.
Awesome. Well, this was
That's
cool.
how ship combat works. There's a lot going on, but it's like we were mentioning earlier, Kevin, that if you can get your blinders on and just look at what your console does, it's pretty straightforward. And I love the way you guys were talking out your actions, because I think it does kind of like pull you a little bit out of the role play. I think it like characters, once they're with each other for a certain amount of time, would know to do these things. And I think during ship combat in Star Trek anyways, you always see the bridge crew bantering back and forth. So yeah, I think it made a lot of sense, and I think it worked out well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I would say that Jissa, for sure, gets a spotlight milestone for this. Because she's taken command of a ship, and I think everybody else can take a basic milestone to change their character around as they see fit when we do our next mission.
Excellent. Very cool. Well, yeah, this was another awesome session. Yeah, it was nice because once we kind of got into it, it made a lot more sense as it went along. It did. It seemed really daunting because of all the different options we had, but by the end of it, I was like, we were all in the groove. I thought it was really nice.
I think like the basic is your defensive pattern, attack pattern, fire weapons, regenerate shields, modulate power. Like those are the 5 basics I think that are really what are like the core of your ship combat. But then you've got all these other peripheral stuff like scan for weakness. Piercing 2 is nothing to laugh at.
That helped a lot.
Yeah, because if you didn't have piercing 2, you would not have breached that ship without having spent some momentum. Whereas the piercing 2 is just like, oh yeah, you can ignore it and don't have to spend any momentum.
I can also kind of see how having the commander kind of organize everything kind of makes up for not having like not having individual actions outside the the buffs and giving the extra action, but that extra action is really can really turn the tide of things. So
yeah, that is a really, really important, and also I think the create advantage is something that a lot of people don't use because I think some people don't fully understand how scene traits and things like that could work, and so I think that if you're a captain and you're doing that and rallying, like if you get to 0 momentum, like that, I had actually considered starting to do rally from my side of things because I had gotten to 0 threat to try to start to build up some more threat. So that there's a lot to do.
Very cool.
I think it's the most fun when characters if some of you were on the bridge and some of you were elsewhere doing something else narratively, and then a boarding action happens. All that stuff. Like it gets really cool when you're telling a story. Obviously, we didn't want to do that tonight because we just wanted to do the basics. it gets more and more complicated the more and more ships that are there, and um, there are while there aren't any rules for mass combat of ships right now. The home world, is that what's it called? Yeah,
Homework.
RPG has has a little rule set in there for each character to essentially take control of their own ship. So I think that you could always, transfer that over to Star Trek if like ship combat and that's something that interests you. Go nuts with it.
Absolutely. Well, cool. Well, this was amazing. Great stuff. Great stuff. Really appreciate it. We hope that all of you watching enjoyed what you were seeing too. I mean, we will be back, of course. We play this game usually on the second Saturday of every month. We switched around this month for some different scheduling, fun stuff. But we'll be back next month doing the same thing. I assume we have another adventure planned for this awesome crew and this awesome ship. So, Al, thank you so much for leading us through this again, my friend. This is awesome. I love the system. I mean, we all fell in love with it. I know we played it a few months ago. We all were like, "This is the best." So this has been a blast. So looking forward to doing
Awesome.
more.
I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. 2D20 is a favorite of mine too. So like, anything that we can do to bring eyes to it is really important right now, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we've got lots of great stuff in the back catalog of Star Trek Adventures, and we've played some other 2D20 games as well, including one that Al himself wrote, which is called Sentience, which was a really awesome game where we played awakened robots defending a neighborhood. That was a really, really cool blast. And also we played Ashland, written by our friend Troy Mepians, who wrote that one too, which is like a post-apocalyptic setting, which was pretty cool too. So yeah, check those out. Check those out. Al, where can they find some cool, fun stuff? I know obviously Modiphius' website, but where else can they find cool Star Trek adventure stuff and also Sentience?
Well, first of all, I'm you can follow me on social media. I'm GM_Admiral on all of them. Um, if you look up Sentience 2D20 on Drive Through RPG, you'll see the quick start and the core rulebook. Um, they're free to download. Check them out. I've got I'm doing layout and a full-on edit of the core rulebook to get ready for print on demand once that becomes an option. So that'll be up there as well. As far as Star Trek Adventures goes, there's plenty of groups in Facebook and other social media things, but I really like there's a website called Continuing Missions STA.com, and that's like all fan submitted content. So like if there's crazy weird ships from old FASA Trek stuff that you like, you can likely find a build on there for it. Some people put up their own strange species and aliens and things like that. The map that we were using for space combat tonight, Tony Pye put that together, and there's like 6 or 7 of those that are on continuingmissionssta.com as well. And then there's the Continuing Conversations podcast, which is hosted by Michael Dismuke and Jim Johnson, that comes out every Friday. I highly recommend it. We talk about Star Trek, and right now we're just finishing up the Lower Decks review chapters on the podcast, because we're doing a podcast for each chapter. So yeah, I think that Star Trek Adventures, there's more and more people coming on board every day. And so let's keep spreading the good word.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, we've been having a blast with it. So thank you again. Appreciate it. Awesome. Let's say bye to all of our players. Let's remind everybody where they can be found and where all you guys are doing when you're not here. Let's start here with the expertly dressed this evening, Andrew. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where we can find you when you're not here.
Yeah, I've been Andrew. You can find me on Twitter, unfortunately, still at Sword Compass. My website is swordcompass.card.co. You can find it through the Twitter profile if that's easier for you. It's linked in there, and it has links to all my various work, which a lot of it is on DM's Guild and other places. And yeah, this has been really fun. Thanks, Al.
Thank you. And let's head on over to Matt, who is right next to him on the screen there. Matt, thanks for playing again, my friend. Tell us, where can we find you out there in the interwebs?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at WorkinMan, which is W0 RKINMAN. I'm not super active on those social medias, but you can always find me on Discord. Now that we have our kind of like our more generic names without the extra thing, it's Osprey80. So you want to friend me up or find our server, that's a good place to reach me.
Very cool. Thanks. Moving down to the bottom line here. Adela, hello. Thank you for playing again. It's always a blast to see you. This sharing of screens worked out perfectly. You can't even tell them the overlay. I love it. So tell us about you. Where we can find you at? Was she doing I'm with stupid with the pointing just now? Is that what?
No, for me, he's sitting right here, but on the screen, he is over this way.
That's right.
Yes, Adela Perez. You can find me at bellabeatclothing.com or on Instagram at bellabeatclothing. And that's where I make children's clothing and costumes and things. Beyond that, just playing games with you fine people. That's it.
Thank you so much. Finally, Sid, good man of the hour here. Tell us where can we find you out there, buddy? Because you're everywhere. You've been playing so many cool games with us and other games too. So where can we find you?
Right now, where you can find me is on Twitter and Instagram at _Sundance Sid. Right here on this channel. You never know when I'm gonna pop up. I try to make it often, and just the here and on Twitter and Instagram for right now.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, cool. Yeah, this was great. And again, to round us all off here, I am Kevin. I can be found online to the socials at KevRan Games. I am a podcaster and streamer, a part of the Wandering Haven production team over here, along with Jeremy and Miko and Beth. And this was a blast playing it on Raw again. Like I said, I've loved this game. It's been a huge, awesome, fun time. Just to let you all know, we have some other stuff coming up. We have lots of cool things. Jeremy's painting some more. I'm sorry, not painting. Excuse me. He's creating more minis on one of our affiliates, Hero Forge. Really cool stuff on Monday. And there's also some more Eastera action on Wednesday, Miko's very own homebrew campaign. And that's going to be a blast too. I want to thank Beth, who was floating around off screen, who produced today's episode, her first one ever, and she was awesome. She handled a lot of stuff.
Good job.
Yeah, there was a lot to take in, a lot to keep track of, and she was on point there with us. So great job. But yeah, and of course, thank you all at home for doing your part to help us to continue to boldly go. And we are going to, at this point, raid some folks at the High Shelf Collective, which looks like they're playing some Call of Cthulhu with a really awesome, beautiful raid. So good night, everybody. Live long and prosper.